Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Hannon. I hope everyone's doing well in this time. I'm currently in self-quarantine, but I'm going to give my presentation here. So my project was named the Project Plymouth Pollinators, and we'll get right into it here. So to kind of start with the project goals and the summary, the main goal is to introduce pollinators to the area and to also form a kind of symbiotic relationship, a cycle between these and plant life on campus as well as the neighboring community. In addition, we want to reduce habitat loss and pesticide use in the area, kind of find how we can reduce impact on the area and do what is the most beneficial for the ecosystem. We want to also introduce new plant life to attract pollinators to the area that are already there. And some facts here, just quick. Some pollinators are such as butterflies and bees provide nearly a third of the food we consume on Earth. And a main key to have here is to have the least amount of impact and the most amount of benefit possible. And we want to kind of focus on that throughout the project. So moving forward, we're going to look at some needs now. What I kind of noticed through this was that there's certainly a great need for pollinators in the Pemmy-Baker Valley. As always, the more pollinators, the better health that the plant life will have over time, and it can grow and expand. I also noticed creating close proximity relationship with pollinators and attracting plant species would help form a cycle over time that we could keep working at and growing bigger and bigger. And this cycle therefore would help, create a great amount of biodiversity, certainly. And areas such as the Plymouth Community Garden would certainly greatly benefit from a kind of cycle like this with a different amount of different plant life that they have in there, fruits, vegetables, etc. And some quick facts also. It's shown that pollinator-based species address nearly 75% of the 1,300 plants that provide anything from food to medicine for us humans. And these pollinators overall facilitate nearly 90% of the world's flowering plants as well. So moving forward, just to get into the project description a little bit, some of the big things we need to do to be able to tackle a project that we need like this. We need to provide connections between associations such as the Pemmy-Baker Beekeepers Association and the Plymouth Community Garden to help gain resources and information. So the big thing we want to do here is we want to actually kind of plant. I've kind of noticed just walking around Plymouth campus that there's a lot of kind of unutilized land. You mostly have grass, dirt, a couple different kinds of tree species kind of spread throughout there. So the thing that I thought was that we could kind of create these pollinator gardens. We bring in different kinds of plant species, such as like lavender or milkweed, different kinds of plants that will attract these kinds of pollinators. And we spread like a number of these different beds throughout campus, and we also implement these kind of plant boxes for more built up structure kind of areas, buildings around campus, buildings around the community, kind of specifically Main Street. And we want to kind of spread these different kind of pollinator plants around, attract the species, and therefore we're starting to form a little bit of a cycle there. So obviously we need different kinds of resources such as bee boxes, various pollinator attracting plant species, like I said. We would have to construct different kinds of garden beds around the campus as well. And we would expect around maybe like 10 to 20 volunteers needed for a project kind of this size, and kind of looking at a timetable through the different kinds of work we would have to do, I would say about a year of work, and that's considering seasonal change as well. The project would be primarily implemented on different areas of campus as well as the downtown area as well. So kind of going into the rationale and impact, the project would allow for a great increase in plant life on campus and allow for better connection between the industrial structures of campus spread around and the environment that surrounds us. Kind of want to create a blend and kind of bring that ecosystem, that environment possibly onto campus. There would be a promotion in the strength of plant growth on campus certainly from this. And this would help to create a range of new fruits and vegetables that can be sourced to something such as the dining hall or the food pantry in town as well. And this would certainly open up a lot of doors for educational opportunities, and students could take these skills into their own lives in the future. Certainly different, at least environmental planning, environmental science classes could definitely learn, at least the permaculture. I've taken permaculture before, and I've learned a lot of this kind of information, and I feel that this could certainly be used as a resource as well. Kind of going into the results that we would want, we would greatly increase promotion of plant growth on campus again. and in turn help better educate people on the benefits of creating relationships of their own, like pollinators and plant life, these different symbiotic relationships within nature. It would give kind of a new sense of place as well to Plymouth State and the community through the introduction of these beneficial plants around the area and students and members of the community, and people would just kind of enjoy to, at least see these different kind of flowers, different kind of beauty brought to the campus and the community down on Main Street as well. There would certainly need to be a connected group of volunteers to be able to take care of these different kinds of beds and boxes and etc. The bee boxes as well, and the pollinators to ensure that the cycle is upkept and that we're kind of putting out the most input and getting the most out of this cycle overall. And then just kind of getting into the meta-analysis at the end here. Proper knowledge about pollinators such as beekeeping and knowledge about proper gardening techniques would certainly be skills that we would need to have going into a project of this size. And we would need to ensure that we are implementing the right resources in the right places. And personally, I'm truly excited for a project like this. Being able to build different symbiotic relationships within the community and kind of working and seeing what parts of nature kind of blend the best together would definitely be a great learning experience for me and other students, and I personally would enjoy a project like this. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening.